Hi guys, my name's Ellie, welcome to my channel, and today we are doing a palette focus on the Lorac Pro 2. I thought now would be a good time to pull this out and use it more, because I legitimately don't remember the last time I've used it. And it's kind of a gray, overcasty day, and this is kind of that color story. I have a plan. I actually have all of the things I should need for it here for once, and I'm not gonna have to run up and go get it from where I actually normally do my makeup day to day. I have some cool new earrings, which I'm really excited to wear. I haven't decided if I think they'll go over well at work or not, so I'm just wearing them on the weekends. They are vertebrae from some type of small animal. I bought them on Etsy. I believe the shop is called Grateful Bones. I will try to link them in the description box if I remember it, because I think they're really cool. I think reusing stuff, because this is I joined a skull collecting and taxidermy group, actually two, on Facebook, and I think it's really cool seeing how people take, you know, different things. A lot of them are roadkill, or, you know, somebody had a pet that passed and they're preserving the skeleton or articulating it or something. Like, it's quite cool to see the different ways that people are utilizing more of things to make some cool, very cool things. I think it's cool. A lot of people might not, so sorry, but I think it's cool. I also thought, since I have now been instituting my new fitness stuff for a little over a month, it'd be a good time to check in on how that's going. As of right now, I'm not using the palette yet. I've got my primer on. I'm putting on a beige shade from the Tartelette palette, and then I have one more little starter thing to do, and then we'll get into the Lorac palette. I have gotten a little more serious about losing weight and getting in better shape, and it also happens to line up with more of my friends being involved in it. My sister has she's been doing a lot better than me and a lot longer. She's been working out and, you know, modifying her diet. She's been making really good progress, and that's been something I've kind of talked to her about. But the boyfriend has kind of made some solid decisions to really just get back in the gym and start making it. I think that's a really good time of year for him to do it. He doesn't do so well with motivation in the winter, but we are moving into the end of winter and spring, so utilizing that automatic kind of boost in everybody's mood with the warmer weather to make progress on something like that is a good choice. I also happened to be talking to another friend of mine about it, and she's kind of, back when I was doing the calculations on what I was going to use when, because I was calculating at the beginning of February how many, like, what kind of restrictions and combinations of diet and exercise I could do to try and lose weight, and how long the weight would take me to lose. And this little Bare Minerals pigment I'm going to put on my, I'm going to dump it all over my hand and my pants. Well, what's left in it, since some of it was lost now, I'm going to go on my brow bone. So, when I was talking to her, because I was sassing myself about the math and how, I think that's been in a video as well. I don't remember which video, but I've talked about trying to calculate it, doing the math wrong again, and realizing that it would have to be a graph function. It's not a solid trajectory, because as you lose weight, your higher end of your maintenance BMR, basal metabolic rate, is going down. So even if you're up here and where you want to be is down here, and you start eating the calories for where you want to be, that deficit between what would maintain your current weight and what you're actually eating, that is this big. But as that upper weight goes down as you lose weight, that deficit decreases, so the speed with which you lose weight will kind of curve out. at different rates for different people, but if you ever wonder why, you know, at the start you can lose a lot of weight and then it gets really hard to lose that last little bit, it's because your caloric deficit is different. It's not as substantial, so you're not losing as many pounds or as quickly or as easily, because just your maintenance level is closer to where you are previously. So, now we've done that. First thing I want to do with this is I want to put light brown in my crease. My overall goal is light brown with a little bit of plum for my mats, with chrome and jade on my lid. Maybe using navy, but navy is a lot and scares me. Not because I'm scared of blues, but because my opinion of Lorac shadows is that they are intense. And I remember using that blue, and I don't know if it was because I had been newer to because like that's basically all I need on my crease, just already done. They're very pigmented, very blendable, but they also kind of rack up pigmentation really quickly. And I don't know if that's because it really is an intense shadow or just because when I use it I hadn't had as much access to super pigmented shades. I'm going to make sure I have about the same level of base pigment. Put a little bit more. So, I've been instituting my choices for about a month. I'm going to take a little bit of Nectar, this one, and kind of just fuzz out the edges with that same brush. Assist the blend. Make sure it's very diffused. Yeah, I like that. So, what I've been doing and how it's gone for me. I do want to preface this with what I'm doing is currently, happily, working for me. It's not going to work for everybody, and not all of these are good choices for everybody. So one of the things I've done, I've stopped eating breakfast. What reasoning I keep with that is I'm not eating. I had been talking to my cousin, and she'd mentioned she's trying out intermittent fasting, so she's trying not to eat outside of the window from noon to 8 p.m. And I was like, huh. Normally, I don't get excited about fasting. I don't have the same confidence a lot of people have. I'm doing that same combination of light brown and Nectar on the lower lash line, by the way. I don't have that same excitement. A lot of people will sell intermittent fasting as this magical miracle thing that's going to just make everything better. So I'm going to start with plum, deepening up the outer corner. And there are pros and cons to doing different things with when and how you eat. And I don't necessarily think that all of the hype around intermittent fasting is as fantastic as people make it out to be. But I was curious, and I don't have a ton of appetite right when I wake up. It's normally honestly closer to midday before I get like hungry, unless I have already been pretty low in calories. And it takes extra time in the morning for me to make and consume a breakfast or to like make it at work. And so I was curious, I'm like, let's test it out. I'm not being super, like I'm not necessarily following the same noon to 8 window. But I take my lunch break around noon. I'm still doing Metamucil just to have a baseline of fiber, and I'm enjoying that. So I will pop that, I'll make that and drink it right before I run out the door. And then I'll get to work and I'll make coffee, which has, you know, cream and sugar and stuff like that. So I'm not completely devoid of calories at the beginning of the day. It's not 100% water fasting. Picking up a different brush to get a little bit of plum for my lower lash line. And then what that did, it allows me to have a bigger lunch and to snack in the later half of the day when I already know that I get munchy. So I have an overall calorie amount I want for the day based on where I want to get down to, which I'm not really going to share that because I don't really care. And everybody's average intake is different. But trying to take that and say I'm going to split the calories I've decided are what I'm eating during the day and split that between 3 meals. So if I was trying to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as accounting for snacking, which I know I'm going to generally snack between things. And then adding in, you know, if I like sweet things, so if adding in that I might have a dessert, that makes my meals themselves really, really small. So by cutting out breakfast when I'm already not that hungry and don't have a ton of free time, I want to commit to that, and putting in just kind of like honestly letting that meal go has allowed me to make the lunch more substantial so that I can add in the grains and the fiber and the fat and the protein that I want in it while staying within the calories that I'm trying to keep for the day. It makes it a lot easier for me. I'm going to take Jade on my outer half, this flat packing brush. So yeah, I've stopped making an effort for breakfast. Like if I wake up and I'm absolutely starving, yeah, I'll eat something. But as an average routine, I'm not really eating breakfast. And that's been working out for me. I'm not like absolutely killing somebody for food come lunchtime because of the other things. And if I do, you know, if I'm getting to there and I don't really feel like I can make it to lunch, I am allowed to take my lunch kind of whenever it fits into my schedule. So I can take lunch earlier, or I can snack on something I have at my desk. Since I have factored in an assumption for snacks, that's kind of what I've done with dessert, is I will, you know, depending on how I'm feeling, if I'm, you know, a little hungry or like super hungry, it's distracting, it's problematic, because that's part of being on a calorie deficit, is that I'm going to get hungry. I'm going to want to eat when I should, you know, stay within my restrictions. But there's a, you know, I'm kind of hungry and I can put it off, and there's a, this is distracting and I don't feel good. And if I'm not feeling good, because there's kind of people who've dieted and whatever, there's a, you know, I'm a little hungry, I can wait, you know, however long till the next time I've allotted myself food. Or like, I'm lightheaded, I have low blood sugar, I'm woozy, eat something, fucking eat something. So I am trying to keep track of that. I am hoping that these differences will help me kind of get a better idea of when and what my body needs, so that by being hungry and thinking about that, I can later start instituting things like eating more when I'm hungry for food than just because I know I have a habit of eating this or whatever. I'm going to take Chrome now and put that on the inner half. So yeah, that's been working out. It's been allowing me to really enjoy the meals. And then if I don't snack, or I snack more lightly throughout the day, then I will let myself have, you know, sweeter things at the end of the day with my remaining calories. Because I'm not trying to stay too low. Like if I'm having a day where I'm just not as hungry for things, I'm letting that happen because maybe I had leftover calories from something else the day before, or my body's getting more efficient. Because that's another thing that happens, is it gets better at processing the calories that you do have. So I'm trying to keep around a certain level. I've been pretty good about that on the times that we do potlucks. and stuff like that, it's allowed me to eat slower and kind of feel how the different calories from foods that I don't know what's in them are sitting with me. So that's been helpful. I feel like that's allowing me to self-moderate a little better. I like that. I don't think you guys can make it out quite as nicely, but I really like chrome. Chrome is this just subtle taupey purple gorgeousness. I think I'm gonna go a little dangerous and put some of Jade on the lower lash line outer corner. So yeah, my calorie restriction and dieting has been going pretty well. I've been pretty happy with that. And then I have instituted more working out. My friend, who is now also trying to lose weight like I am, we've been going to her apartment gym and working out. I started kind of like on ellipticals. I've been using the rowing machine. I'll go on the treadmill if there's some available space because I would like to get back to running. I just don't know. It's not like a top goal of mine. I think it'll happen when I get in a little better shape because running when you're super out of shape sucks. It sucks so bad. Oh, I like that. Okay, and then last little bit I'm in here, I'm going to take up some of Rosé and pop that on the inner corner for some highlight. I'm going to use this brush. So yeah, going to the gym. I've also, one of the days a week that I see my boyfriend, we're going to the gym together as well, kind of trying to make it a communal thing. I think making it something where I work out with my friends and my boyfriend and maybe further down the line with my sister is a good overall lifestyle choice for me, in that I'll make it something where I'm not sacrificing social time for working out and I'm not sacrificing working out for social time. You can kind of combine them, and then, you know, if I want to go for a hike, I will have friends and family that I can bring with me for the hike. And I like building a community of people who are doing things together. It makes me much more successful. It makes most people more successful to have a support system like that. So I've been working out with my friend as well as with my boyfriend. As of right now, I haven't worked out a lot by myself just because the days have lined up that I either have had something that I need to get done and I didn't have time to work in a workout, which I need to modify, that I haven't really worked out on my own, which I should. I have a gym membership. I could just go to that gym. I could go to my work gym. That's something that is on the list of things to involve. But as of right now, it has gotten to a point where I have lost 5.5 pounds. So that's a good, I'm trying to keep it, 1 to 2 pounds per week. I don't want to lose weight in a healthy, overly speedy way. And that's something a pound a week is generally about where they keep it, especially when people are talking about being able to maintain the weight. Sorry, there was some dust down there and I blew it out of the way. So yeah, I think I'm doing well. I feel like this is a very different mentality I've had than working out in the past, or at least more recently when I've attempted it. Involving people has been helpful so far, and yeah, the workouts themselves have been fun. It's gotten to a point where I can feel kind of like I'm less slogging through something and more like the first couple weeks were not fun. Working out's not fun when you're getting back into it immediately. But the last couple times I've been able to kind of push myself. I started involving weights, which that was rough the first time too, because I remember where I used to be with weights and that's not where I am with weights. So the first couple times you start using weights or changing up what exercises you're doing, that will really mess with certain muscles that you're not used to using. So there were some soreness issues, there's been some tiredness issues. The other thing I want to do while working on this is to work on my flexibility. So making sure that we make time to stretch out after exercises has been important to me. And then as we get into it, maybe we can do stuff with like putting in a yoga class in rotation, doing different stuff like that. One of my friends wants me to go to her aerial class, so it would be like silks and silk aerials and stuff like that. I'm interested, but also not that flexible right now. Like, not horribly unflexible, but not as flexible as I have been in the past, and I miss that. So yeah, good choices. Modifying my diet, making sure that I'm actually responding to hunger triggers as opposed to just habitual eating. Making sure that everything's balanced, that I'm having enough fat and protein to fuel me for things, as well as involving fruits and vegetables and different grains and fibers and stuff. That's been good too. So yeah. I feel like I'm making progress, but I need to go finish up my look and then I will check back in. Just since I don't really know how I'm going to do check-ins with this, I thought we'd just kind of do different times I feel like talking about it. We'll do it on here. Maybe I'll do just a sitting down and not, you know, doing a face wallet. We'll see what happens. Because that's kind of the whole thing, is we'll see what happens. Finished look. I like it. It's cute. I feel like it matches the cold, slightly overcast weather, which now the sun's coming up, so my gray outfit no longer matches the sky. I like it. And I feel like I'm making good progress on my health and fitness goals. So that's been fun for me. Hopefully this was fun for you guys. This pellet's quite nice. I think I need to pull it out more. I bought it with a very specific reason, and then I kind of didn't use it as much. It got swallowed up by the collection. I think maybe it's a good time to give it some more love. Do you guys still use your Lorac palettes? I feel like not many people are talking about Lorac anymore. And I don't know if it's just the communities I'm in or if it's everybody. So let me know. Because like the Lorac 1 and 2 were like super high priority for people to have and use for a while. And they've kind of disappeared. It's a nice formula though.